Hello everyone, onlydraven here again. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. This week's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Let's have a little bit of stuff we're going to talk about. This week I'm going to, after our weekly check-in, I'm going to jump right into just some of the workout and exercising stuff that I've added over the last couple of weeks. There's a program that I'm using I'm going to talk about results and my experiences in doing that. But like normal, we'll go ahead and start with our weekly check-in. Just talk about how the week went overall, and then just kind of where I'm going moving forward. So thank you again, everyone who has been liking and subscribing. I've seen some new people jumping on the bandwagon, and I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate all the feedback that I get, and everyone who's been going to my website. My last video did really well, the 6-month post-op. Anytime I have any type of progress photos, I find those videos seem to do a little bit better. So maybe I'll start sneaking those in more often. But thank you everyone who has been watching and complimenting and commenting. It means a lot to me. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it this week and go right into our weekly check-in and see how that went. So in this week's weekly check-in, we're going to talk about just briefly the week in review. This week was, last week or so was a little bit different for me than normal because I really added in the working out and going to the gym. And I going to the gym on and off, but I've mostly focused on cardio with a little bit of dabbling in the machines. But for the past week and a half, it's just been all hardcore weightlifting and using the machines and stuff, and really not messing with much of the cardio at all. So that has had an effect on my week. This week had a little bit lower of a loss than I normally do. I only lost 1 pound this week, which at first when it happened, even I was like, oh, only 1 pound. I talk about regularly, you can't focus too much on the numbers, but I get excited to share with you all how well I did through the week. So I was like, oh, 1 pound. But then I was like, hey, that's still 1 pound. It's the lowest weight loss I've had in a week, other than the 3rd week post-op where I didn't lose anything. But it's still a loss. I still lost weight. And I think that the working out was a big part of that. I know it's only been a week and a half, but I can already definitely feel and see some physical progress in my change. I mean, I'm not walking around all muscly and cut up and stuff, but I am already seeing a difference in the size of my arms and definitely in the tightness and such. So as you build muscle, that causes you to gain weight. Muscle weighs more than fat. We've talked about it multiple times. So as I continue to work out a lot, at this point, the program I'm on is 4 days a week. I go Monday and Tuesday, I take Wednesday off, I go Thursday and Friday, I take Saturday and Sunday off. That's the way it's set up. So with working out 4 days a week for usually close to an hour each time, that hopefully will continue to help me gain the shape and some of the muscle that I'm looking for, but that very likely will have an effect on the scale and the weight that I lose as the muscle increases as well. So I'm definitely going to stick with it and do my very best to follow it to the letter, as I try to do everything, just to have that positive result. It worked well with the diet, so I can't help it. I think it's going to work here as well. So, but I lost 1 pound, which puts me down 177 pounds total. So right now I weigh 254. So 3 pounds away from 180 lost, which is awesome. So I'm 23 pounds away from 200. I still have, just a smidge under 3 months left at this point before I hit my 1 year mark. So the slowdown will definitely put a cramp in that hitting 200. But hopefully, I'll see some more results. I'm going to try to change up the diet a little bit this week. It's important that I don't cut out food. I mean, I still got to get everything in I need to get in and hit all my numbers. But I'm definitely going to try to zero in on some specific things, try to increase my protein even more now that I'm working out, and try to cut back a little bit on the fat, because I've noticed that I've been really towing the line on my fat count every week. I usually stay under, but I'm usually right at it. So I'm going to see what I can do to kind of substitute and bring some of that fat down, which is only 30 grams, but I still want to see if I can get it lower while still maintaining my carbs and my proteins. So overall, again, still a positive week. You know, any successful weight loss week is a good week. And on top of that, like I said, I can feel and see a physical difference from going to the gym. And so that's something I'll talk about a little bit more in the next section. Diet-wise, I haven't made a lot of changes to the diet this week, other than I've started implementing salads a little bit. Salad dressing, of course, is one of the big areas I have to watch for the fat content. I think that's one thing that may have made me toe that line a little bit more. I have only had salad, I think, 2 or 3 days out of the last week, and it's a side. It's the side to my protein. I still have my high protein dinner, a meat of some kind usually, or one of the Bear Life food supplements that are high in protein. Those are still my main course, and I focus on those first. But the salad was a little something extra to add to the side, just to get a little bit more vegetables in. You know, I usually do a Caesar salad, definitely extreme fat-free, light Caesar dressing, but still Caesar, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, some Kalamata olives, and that's about it. I don't do croutons. Croutons are the devil. It's bread, which of course I just don't eat. They're also high in carb, and they're also the unhealthiest part of any salad. So pretty much, except for depending on your cheese, I guess. But croutons I stay away from anyways. So mostly it's just a very light Caesar salad with maybe a little chicken thrown in there, or as a side dish. But it's nice to throw it in there. I have a little something different in the menu as normal. This week I also did, for my family, a beef sausage, mushroom, green pepper, red pepper, onion stir fry. I've made that before with shredded beef instead, but at this time we decided we'd try it with sausage, and my family greatly preferred that. They enjoyed that much more. So definitely something we'll do again. Again, I worry about the fat content in the sausage, so not something I'll do regularly, but it was a tasty meal. You know, and it was a whole meal. Got the vegetables, the meat, the protein, all that was in there. So definitely something tasty to add in there. If anybody's looking for recipes on any of that kind of stuff, let me know. I'd be happy to send it to you. So that's pretty much all I have for the weekly check-in this week. Getting ever closer to the 200-pound down goal, which is what I'm shooting for. And then after I hit that, after I hit the goal of 200 pounds down, then really the next goal is straight on to just 200 pounds total, weighing 200, which was end goal. I mean, at that point, I'll be within, 30 pounds, you know, which is not a whole lot comparatively speaking to how much I've lost already, 177 down. So we're getting close to the point where the finish line is way off in the distance, but just finally coming into sight. And that's not the total finish line. That's the end of this particular race. Got to keep racing. So when this race ends, then it's just all about maintaining and getting the shape that I want. So speaking of the shape that I want, we're going to step right into the next and final section of today. Just kind of talking about some workout experiences, the plan that I'm using, and some information you might want to add into your own workout. So we'll get right into that. All right, so this section here, we're going to talk about today just what I've been doing for exercise and working out added into my exercise regimen, or added to what was already given to me. So right after the surgery, any weight loss surgery, you know, where they're invasive, where they have to go in and actually have the surgery. I mean, they're working on your stomach. I mean, that's the number one thing they're doing. They're putting a band on your stomach. They're removing part of your stomach. They're rerunning your intestinal tracts like they did with me. That takes a while to heal. You know, that's why you're on a liquid diet for several weeks. Then soft foods. Takes a while for your stomach to heal. So you have to be careful not to overwork or strain your stomach in the same way. The exercise program I was put on by the exercise coach through my doctor's office focused mostly on treadmills and cardio and such, and then some weightlifting for arms and legs and such. But I found that most of those exercises really did not target stomach, chest, or back, because I guess my belief anyways is that they just don't want to strain that too much while you're healing. I'm at the point that I am 6-month post-op now, so my actual next visit with my exercise coach is later this month. It's October 2017. So I'm actually going to see her and my nutritionist. I want to say it's 2 or 3 weeks from now, somewhere in the 22nd or 23rd, I think. And then we'll talk a little bit more about it then. But preemptive to that, I decided I really wanted to add in some workout and some exercise. I really wanted to start I guess, in the intro to bodybuilding. And I say intro because, well, the program I'm using can be used for beginners or for, people who are not beginners. I am still taking a little bit careful with it. I'm definitely being careful not to strain my stomach area too much, but still trying to work it because that's definitely the area I want to work on the most. The two places that I feel I want to target, if possible, is of course my stomach, because it's still my largest part in my eyes. When I see it, that's the part that still holds the overweight shape the most to me. And other than that, I also want to try to target under my arms because that's where I see excess skin the most. And I've talked about it. We'll put that on here again. So when I flex, I've got this little bit of excess skin down here, and it's not horrible by any means, but it is. You know what I mean? Play-doh or floppiness. I don't like that there. So now that I'm working out and exercising, I can see some definition like starting to build up, but this here is just definitely the most unattractive part of that and the part I want to target the most. I have some excess skin in some other areas as well. Inner thighs being another big one. So I had really big legs when I was at my largest size. So I'm definitely seeing some of that there. But I mean, pretty much all of that's going to be hidden by clothes. I don't care how much weight I lose. I'm not walking around in like bikini shorts or nothing. So that's an area no one's ever going to see except myself and a few very lucky people. But my arms and stuff, wearing shirts and where that would be visible, that's going to be more common. So that's an area that I really want to work on. Another reason I really want to get my arms relatively in shape is, as I've mentioned, when I hit my goal weight of 200 pounds total, not 200 lost, but weighing 200, I'm going to get a tattoo. That's kind of my reward for doing all that. So it's important to me that I'm, or have a better shape on my arm, A, to hold the tattoo, and B, to be hopefully a little bit more permanently where I want to be, so that way it doesn't change as I continue to lose. So that's two of my big personal goals. Plus, as I mentioned, I'd like to cosplay. I'd like to dress up as superheroes and things of that nature, or cooler characters, and you really can't do that being all flabby. So trying to be in a bit better shape to be able to do that in the future. The program that I'm under, a friend of mine who does bodybuilding and weight training and such, and dude was a bigger guy many years ago and just busted his ass, and now he's cut. I mean, he's in great shape. And he's the guy who put me on this. And it's great because it's all in an app. It's a free app. You download the app. It has a workout program already set for you. Tells you exactly what exercises or what machines to do on what days. Each day targets specific muscle areas. Tells you when to break. It tells you, how many reps to do of each thing, how many different cycles you do. On top of all that, every single exercise has a video. When you click on that exercise, there will be an instructional video. It shows you how to use the machine, the proper form when using the machine. And that's important, especially for amateurs. If you're someone who's considering adding this into your life as well, A, make sure you're physically capable. You may want to check with your doctor. B, it's important to realize your own limitations. When you get in there, there are machines at the gym that I do not know how to use. They look like torture devices, and now that I've been using them, I can verify they are in fact torture devices because they hurt. But knowing how to use them is important, because if you're using them wrong, aside from the possibility of damaging their equipment, you could really hurt yourself. So having really just a short instructional video shows you exactly what to do on which machine is amazing, especially for someone who's kind of walking in there blindly. I really don't have anybody to work out with at this point, and I don't have anybody there daily to show me. I just don't have the money for a trainer. I don't have the money to have somebody staying next to me. So this app gives me a lot of that information in the palm of my own hands. But the app that I use is called Shortcut to Size. I have it on iOS. I'm not sure if it's on Android. Probably is. But Shortcut to Size is awesome. It's a 12-week program where you do certain exercise for a week, and then the next week you do it again. But the first week you start with a light weight. The second week is heavier weights, less reps, heavier weights, less reps, very heavy weights, hardly no reps. Then it switches back to the beginning again. All with the goal of keeping your muscles confused. Because if you do the exact same thing over and over again, your body will eventually adjust to that, and you'll stop seeing as much gains, which is the term that I'm learning. Gains. That's a workout term. I'm going to throw some more of those in, so be prepared. But gain and shape and such, your body will no longer profit from what you're doing. So keeping it switched up and switching and doing different weights and different things. And the exercises, some of the workouts and the exercise you do change a little bit from week to week. You're not always doing the exact same thing. This helps keeps your body confused and keeps it working and seeing that increase. But I'm going to say enjoying the process. I'm actually not enjoying working out. I don't like going to the gym. I never have. A lot of people are like, you will learn to like it. They also said that about beer. Still can't handle beer. It's like horse piss in a glass, okay? I cannot drink beer. It's disgusting. Can't drink alcohol now anyways, but even before that, beer is gross. And like, oh, if you drink it enough, you'll learn to like it. Why would I do that? Why would I have to do something I hate for a long period of time in the hopes that I'll eventually not hate it anymore? There's enough stuff out there that I don't hate. I'll do that instead. But for the gym and working out, I understand that this is important. And to get where I want to be physically, this is what I have to do. So like it or not, I'm doing it. I enjoy the process. I enjoy the tracking of it. I like that. I like having that that list of things I have to do, that structure that I've talked about multiple times. Here's your exercise, do this many times, do it now. I like doing that. I like being able to look in the mirror and flex my arm or my shoulders and seeing more definition than I had before. I've only been doing it a couple weeks, but I can already see, not a huge change, but a little bit. Enough that says, wow, this is doing something. I need to keep doing this so I can do more something, you know? And so I'm enjoying that process. And then going to the gym, I guess biggest inconvenience, of course, is the pain and discomfort. The first couple nights I barely slept. I was so sore. I'm still sore all the time. Even on the days that I don't work out, I'm still sore from the last day that I worked out. Raising my hands above my head, I can just feel it in the back of my arms and into the back of my shoulders. I'm using machines that are working muscles I don't know if I've ever worked out before. At least not since I was a kid and I played hockey and was all over the place. But as an adult, I haven't worked many of these muscles in years. And learning to use machines, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling soreness in areas I just don't ever normally feel sore. Hell, I didn't know there was a muscle in some of these spots. So that itself has been a learning experience. But I have learned a couple other things. One thing I've learned, you have to be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. I go into the gym and I see guys and ladies, I see everybody, lifting weight. I'm like, okay, cool. That person looks smaller than me. They don't look like they have a whole lot of muscle. And they look like they were using this many weights on the bar that they're lifting or on the machine that they're using. I should be able to do maybe that or a little less. So I try to go a little less. Turns out I can't do a little less. I need a lot less than that. Like one of the first days I went, I was doing a bench press and I really didn't put much weight on at all. I thought it was not much weight at all. My arms thought otherwise. And I was in my second set of reps and my arms, I couldn't lift it. And there was a gentleman, a couple guys actually lifting just near me. And I said to him, hey, you mind giving me a hand here? Dude rushed over, helped me out on it. And I realized, okay, just because it doesn't look like a lot, maybe it is. So in many situations now, when I'm using a machine for the first time or for the first time for the day, I'll straight just put on the lowest possible weight setting. Sometimes I just lift the bar, just get a test for how it is, and slowly add more to it because luckily I had someone to help me in that situation. I don't want to be in a spot where I'm not because I don't have a spotter. I'm there by myself. So being careful not to bite off more than you can chew is important in any regard. Your diet, or your meals that you're cooking, the planning, hell, this whole surgery process. Make sure that it's something that you're going to be able to handle, something you're going to be able to stick to because it's a lifelong devotion. Weight loss surgery is. It's something that's going to affect you permanently. So be prepared to step into that long-term relationship with the new way that you're going to live. And working out has become that. So the other thing that I learned, and the thing that's kind of led me to the name of this video, is that the gym is an interesting place. I've gone for years, but I usually just go get on a treadmill in the corner, and then I leave. I don't talk to anybody. And I still don't know a lot of guys at the gym, or ladies at the gym by any means, but I've been watching people at the gym. Not in a creepy, perverted way. I do that at the mall. But at the gym, I'm just kind of watching people, mostly for examples. Inspiration and example. I see somebody using a machine that I know I'm going to have to use. I'm watching that person's form. Are they doing it? Am I doing it right? This person is a huge buff person. They clearly know what they're doing more than I do. What does their form look like? So I can try to emulate that when I use that machine. You know, I've learned not to look at the amount of weight that they're lifting because that's just depressing. Some of those guys are lifting as much weight as I've lost. And I'm like, I can barely lift the bar, you know? So I try not to look at that. I try to look at their form and what they're doing, how many reps they're doing, what machines they use in a group to make sure that the machines and such that I'm using are working the right muscles together. But while doing this, I've come across an interesting thing. And I don't get political or all that kind of stuff on here at all, and I don't plan on starting by any means. But, living in the United States, earlier this week there was a horrendous mass shooting homicide in Las Vegas, which, these type of things happen a lot more than they should. I mean, one is more than they should, but a lot of these things happen. And regardless of your feelings on the politics of that, I'm not speaking to the politics. I'm not speaking to any of the hot button issues that have come from this and the arguments. That shit is not for here. You want to talk about that? Feel free to talk about it with the people that you either agree with or disagree with. I'm not here to pass a judgment one way or the other. But we are in a period in our country where there is United States, where there's just a lot of divide, whether it be racially, politically, sexually, whatever. There's a lot of division. And at the gym, I just don't see that, and just being there every day and watching everybody work out, I don't see that at all. People of different races and genders work on machines talking like it's nothing. When I'm at the gym, I am usually surrounded by a bunch of big dudes, a bunch of buff guys that can be called jocks, sometimes rednecks, whatever you want to call them. These are normally the type of people in my life you would not see me hanging out with. I normally don't have a problem with anybody. I mean, high school, whatever, I'll hang out with anybody. But, these are not the kind of people that normally would choose to hang out with me. Your surfer guys, you got your jocks, you got your bros, your big workout bros and such. And, in high school and such, these guys would have never wanted to hang out with me or even in most of the facets of my life. I'm a nerdy kind of video game, Dungeons and Dragons playing kind of kid. But at the gym, none of that shit matters, At the gym, these guys who, in public, I would believe, and this is clearly not the case, but my personal assumption would be these people would never look twice at me because I just don't fit within their demographic of their life. But at the gym, man, I thumbs up. People give me nods and smiles when they see me running a machine. I kind of thought I would get those sneers and looks of disgust, like, hey, fatty, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. But it's not like that at all. It's a very welcoming feeling. It's like they're just happy to see you doing it. They're like, sweet. Kick ass. Keep it up, man. Anytime I've asked anyone a question, hey, can I use this machine? Hey, how do you use this machine? Or I've asked for advice, everyone has been overwhelmingly happy and excited to literally explain and give me that advice. It's like they're really just happy to see that I'm doing this, Maybe they see themselves at an earlier stage before they got to where they are, and then they want to see me succeed as well. But, like I said, everybody talking. I don't see, people divided at the gym. Everybody seems to get along, and I've been thinking about it. I'm like, everybody just seems kind of connected in that common goal of working out, getting in shape, and being healthier. And that's kind of what got me to that thought. It's at the gym, we're all bros. Male, female, white, black, doesn't matter. At the gym, we're all bros. We're all there to do the same kind of thing. And I still stick to myself most of the time. I see a lot of the same people at the gym, and like smiles and waves, and when I come in, nods, whatever. But I'm still not openly talking to people and such because just not trying to intrude into groups I don't know that well. But it's still a very welcoming feeling when I'm there. There's no difference between the men and the women. They talk, work out together. So they just don't see those divides that I see in other places. And that just kind of hit me this week watching that, and it was a nice feeling. It was nice to see that. This is a place where anybody can go and nobody cares who you are, what you look like, or where you're from. And that I guess inspired me a little bit more to keep going and to really, really put some serious effort into this. A, because again, I want to see the physical changes I'm working towards, but B, it's just nice to kind of be in that environment where I can go into a place and regardless of what you think politically, nobody cares. No, I've never heard anyone in there talking about politics. No one's talking about hot button issues. No one's talking about divisions or things they disagree on. They're just talking about getting in shape, talking about how their day went, talking about what's going on, what's new. But it's a very, very kinship kind of feeling there, and almost like a club, and it's nice, And it's given me the opportunity to meet and maybe hang out with some people that normally I wouldn't have the opportunity to do so. So, that's really what I want to kind of talk about here. You know, the diet itself and the weight loss surgery process sometimes can make you feel a little stranded and alone. You know, you're the only one going through this. Everyone around you is eating what they want. You know, going to the support groups is important. If you can go to a support group and be with other people who are going through it, that's great. If you're getting your support through people like myself by watching videos or being on online support groups or blogs, man, watch as many as you can. Do what helps you feel a part of that community. But don't be afraid to step out there and put yourself in other communities. You know, you've taken a huge step going on into this surgery and into this process. Don't be afraid to take another one. There are a lot of people out there who can help you in both your journey to lose weight or to get in shape. You want to work out, whatever you want to do. There are a lot of people out there who are happy to help you. They just know you need that help. So, you know, if you can, feel free to put yourself out there a little bit. Be open to new experiences, because there's a lot out there you could miss without even meaning to. So that's my deep philosophical thought for this week. We're going to sum it up with that. Thank you again so much for watching my videos. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Click like on the video if you enjoyed it. Also check out my website, link right here, onlydraven.com. You can see all my progress photos and all of my videos. And also check out my Patreon, other link right here, where you can go and see other ways that you can help me put stuff like this together and maybe earn yourself some perks as well. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a week. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Have a good week.